communication with plaintiffs. Uh-oh, okay. Just got it started recording. All right. So I don't even know what that meant, so it wasn't recording. That's pretty much it. We want our remedy requested. We think we have proven enough, and we're open for.
Can you redo that? Sorry. Can you redo that? Sorry, it wasn't recording. So
okay. All right. So let me go back. Defendant, we have proven our points with the 3 plaintiffs. Defendant has also failed to register nationals properly, the headquarters database, proven through Yasmine Ali. She was never registered properly. And then we did a live presentation using the due sheet, took a random person that he had claimed to nationalize, and we had no record of their nationality. So he was not only breaching people, he was breaching the whole ARNA unit because we don't have records of those people until we, got to this point to say it. He's also falsely representing himself as a lawyer instead of an Aboriginal jurist. The problem with that is we are Aboriginal jurists in our own jurisdiction. If somebody believes that you are a lawyer, a regular lawyer, and they're coming from debt services, that's going to create partial conflicts of interest. And I think that is deception, whether it's intentional or not, I can't say, but that needs to be corrected for the future. And lastly, the charges that we read off, I think that they are, the remedy we requested that we read off, I think is reasonable, that defendants should be suspended totally from jury services for 6 months. Defendant should be required to take all juris courses over before recertification to ensure his integrity. Defendant should be required to complete all present business of nationals to their expectation and be monitored by ARNA Aboriginal Law Firm in doing so. Defendant services in all other ARNA areas, ARNA related matters, cosmology, health, should be monitored to make sure he's carrying out his work. Defendant should be barred from communication with plaintiffs for a 6-month suspicion period. And that is our request, and we're open for cross-examination.
Okay, thank you, prosecutor and plaintiff. The defendant, whenever you're ready to start your examination, let us know so we can start the time. Okay.
And I see Minister Trezell had a hand up. I don't know if he wanted to state something for the record or.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention something.
Your internet's chopping.
He's not even on anymore. Or yeah,
he's still on.
Okay.
But his internet's choppy. Trezell, can you speak? Because your internet is choppy. We don't want to hold up too much. So go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that the business registrations, we can get those from all the clients. So we can get those.
The brother's not coming in clear. We can't hear him.
Database.
You might want to try to go somewhere where you can get better service and then come back in a little bit.
Yes. Can you, Shada, can you let Ken in? I guess he got kicked out.
Yeah, I don't see him yet.
Hearing meeting, and it's just circling the circle.
Try exiting the link and then
yeah,
clicking on it again.
Let me see. Might need to just let me just exit out. Back out of it.
Giselle, you could put it in the chat if that'll work.
Right.
Y'all don't see me trying to get in because I clicked the link and it's saying it's trying to log in to preparing meeting. Y'all don't see me trying to get in? No response?
You should be, go to the link of the email or in the calendar invite.
Oh, yeah, okay, I'm going to calendar. Let me try to email. Let me try email this time. Come on. Okay, let me try to. I'm about to reset my phone. Let me try to reset my phone real quick, and I'm gonna see if that works. Okay, just bear with me.
Okay.
1 second. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Peace.
Minister Giselle, I don't know if you want to try again and see if you got better service. Try to speak again. Or was that all you had that you put in the chat?
Yeah, that's all in the chat.
Minister Tizelle, is that a question for the defendant, or are you stating that should be a requirement during his probational period?
No,
Or
that
after-
should be, yeah, it should be required, like, you know, as soon as possible.
Okay, yes, sir. Oh, okay, I have a question for the chief prosecutor, as far as our juris procedures. Do we have on our government site where we register all businesses? Because I was stated, I'm under the impression that it should all be filed in our file client book, and then once that's ever correlated, supposed to be requested or submitted. Is it on the site where I'm supposed to report all businesses that I do as a jurist? Is that supposed?
You're supposed to put it in your client file book.
Okay. Because is there a portal available for us to?
Yeah, there's a portal available. There's a whole juris portal available for business registrations, for non-nationals, nationals, nationality, you know, all the other services, every service that we have on it.
For far as me as a jurist reporting that to headquarters for our record.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me show you. I can show you if you want me to, you know, give you a little look at it. Let me show you.
So is that so now I'm stating, is that standard? I have that I should be standing that, and that's for protocol, just for the sake of verification and certification. So I'm gonna have to do that. I wasn't aware of that. All right.
All right. So,
thank you,
so
sir.
what we also, just to let you know, I rewrote the bylaws for Arnold Aboriginal Law Firm that were in the protocol manual. So when we finish the rites of passage, we're going to have about 3 weeks of updates. And so that's going to help with a lot of things too. So.
Yes, sir.
We have the defendant on, so we can go ahead and.
Apologies for the delay. That's never occurred. I think it's because it's opening links and hopping on new links and stuff like that. That never happened. So, yeah, apologies for the delay.
Whenever you're ready to get started, we can get started and we'll start the time.
But
Okay.
just for Arcan's sake, it's under juris service links. It has all of the listing. So when you know, make those payments or to headquarters, we have a receipt of all of those things happening all the time. And of course, it goes in your client file book.
Copy.
It's called juris service links.
Copy.
Okay.
Is the defendant ready?
Yeah, I think I'm ready to rock here. Okay. So start with this.
Okay.
It's been stated again and again and again, Kenway, you're supposed to be responsible in, missing emails and things of that nature, which I will take responsibility of course. And if I miss the email, like I've said this entire time, I'll definitely make it known that I need to take the brunt of that responsibility. Karen, this is the Karen, question for her. you stated a minute ago, right? Have it here. Did you miss an email about us doing an indigenous trademark, like what was just shown by the prosecutor?
Did not miss any emails.
Okay, you just stated, so that's a lie because you just stated on the record a minute ago that you missed the email. You didn't receive the email that the prosecutor just shown. So that there is a lie.
I sent the emails that I sent to Chief. So the emails that I forwarded to Chief, I was aware of.
Oh,
and please don't call me a liar until you can
well,
prove it.
that was the proof. If you sent the email from me to Ali and you didn't read it, then you missed the email.
I read all emails and I sent that to him because I was clear on all the communication between us.
I'm still not understanding. But we'll keep that for the record. We can always go back and check out what was said because I'm trying to keep very meticulous notes here. So for the record, everybody, what's said is what's been said. And we'll take the time to go back through and be very meticulous about that. When I told you my original price for $1,200 for debt discharge, did you not ask for a lower price?
I never asked you for a lower price. Prove that.
Okay. 1 second. I actually sent that in one of the exhibits, but I'll pull it up again. You don't remember, and I think everybody here should have seen, at least the Juror Society, should have bore witness to the discount in the contract that was given. That's public record. I'm gonna pull up for it. So are you telling me you don't remember asking?
I never asked you for a discount. Your price was your price. That's what we met with. That's why I had the cash to give you when we had the consultation, because you told me what your price was.
Okay. So it's public record.
Just ask the question, and she said yes or no, and then move on.
Correct. Okay. What I'm going to do is show verification of the price. Is that done after or not? Because I've got verification that was indeed done and was requested, and a lower price on regards of what was displayed on the flyer. Should I do that afterwards, or is just questions right now?
Show everything that you need to show. Remember you.
Okay. And I'll have that pulled up in no time, family. Last question as I'm pulling that up. Have I not given you free services before, Karen? One example being cosmology services for
No, you have not. I've never signed up for cosmology services with you. Document that with proof. Back that up.
Okay, so I've never. So okay,
show where I consulted you for cosmology services. It didn't happen.
Okay, so I'm gonna. I can't share right now. Can I get the permission to share? And for the time being included.
Yes, you have permission now.
Excellent. Okay, that's perfect. So we got a lot of text messages. Okay. Here we go. Okay, she said there's never been any cosmology services rendered, given, offered. We can see here, scrolling, I'm getting certain information of cosmology.
You stated free services. This is not about cosmology services. This is about services.
I'm sorry, wait. You're interrupting. Say that again.
This is about her receiving free services. This is not about cosmology. Where your question is irrelevant.
It's not irrelevant, and I'll show it. I'll show it. I know. I'll show how it's not irrelevant. What I'm showing here is good faith, right? Even though I didn't have to, and I show good faith in her just dealing with me in many regards. That here's you've got issues with your boyfriend, some men issues or what have you. Let me help aid that. I didn't have to do that. I could have just been about the money and just, okay, oh, you need to pay me for blah, 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 and just do it. I'm just showing here that,
I think
I
this
was
is
under good faith.
inappropriate.
On good faith.
It's very inappropriate. I never asked him for any cosmology services. I never asked him for any counseling on relationships. It's null and void.
Well, okay. I'm just here to show good faith here. And that indeed, you just mentioned a minute ago, we can go back to the evidence saying that I didn't give you any services, but indeed, that was just to show good faith, right? Good faith in my operations as just national to national, just doing business with you. Just trying to genuinely help you. But outside of that, if you can see here, yes, I was under the impression $600 for business registration and 3 logos, trademarks, and $1,000 for debt removal. So what ensued from there? What ensued? Oh, and I break this thing. Tell you last one for national. There was a time. Yes. Oh, so I even broke it down here. Also, apologies. I saw your last message for nationals. There was a period where I was doing 1,200 around the time of the summit, but since switched back to 1,500, even more for nationals to debt removal. Since you're doing quite a few services with me, I'll still remove the $300 to make a total of $1,200 for that. Also, with trademarking, they typically charge such and such and such. So what I'm showing here is that I indeed, remember, I got to address a lot of things here. I'm dealing with multiple plaintiffs and stuff like that. Just give me a second to prove my point. I won't take too much time. So what I'm showing here is that there was indeed, I indeed showed her the original price, that it was originally $1,200. But at this time, here on at 11/50, October 21st, 2020, that my services were $1,500, back to $1,500. Which is a good amount of money for the particular type of services that I was.
Can you show the date of the original consultation and when that October 21st, you're saying? When was the date of the initial consultation?
What do you mean the initial consultation?
The consultation that I met you in your apartment and gave you the cash money. What was the date of that?
Well, that's cross-examining me, but that was probably a month prior.
So why are you changing your price a month after?
Let's keep the, this is the cross-examination for the
cross-examining me, yeah.
To ask the plaintiff's question, so let's keep it.
Correct. So I'm just showing here, just, kind of the relationship here and the mind and thought process of our business relationship. I'm just giving everybody context. This is Karen's response. At the time I inquired, you said you charged $1,000 for nationals on debt removal. I wrote it down. That's what I paid you. An invoice for billing probably would be helpful so that issues like that don't arise. So essentially, and then we got on the phone and we talked about it. I said, don't worry about it. There was some haggling of that down, but you can kind of see the little bit of the information here. My point here is that, one, she did say for the record, she herself missed an email. That was just discovered here in a bit by the conversation by the prosecutor. The other aspect we're dealing with here is just showing good faith. Now, to the point when I never said to what the prosecutor mentioned that I, Kenway She, does those trademarks. I said we're. And like I mentioned it before, this is we're is talking about me and Minister Kojo partnering on that, which I really appreciated because there's not many jurists that were willing to partner up with me and with my operations we're doing. I take a lot of brunt of that myself. So my thing is, if she had an opportunity to ask info about the trademark, this was discussed earlier, if she would have checked the email, she did not complete the intake form. For me to complete services. So we can't tag. The most you got on in regards to Karen is that I missed the email, and it seems like everybody on here has been missing emails. Okay, so in that conversation, including Karen herself, if I heard correctly on what was previously stated. So in regards of why didn't I just do the services? I can't do the services unless there's an intake. If we need to see verification of the intake not being taken and considered here, here it is. If you see here, okay, since I wanted to tell you that I have even a better way to remove the bankruptcy after it's put on the likely 2 months so after they're responsible sooner. can I get you to fill out one more intake form when you get time? Thanks so much. Okay, moving tomorrow. I just received my transcript that I requested from the IRS today. I get them filed next week on a 5-day stretch next week, then I can breathe. He's smiling emoji or whatever crazy face emoji. I haven't received anything from that period. So that shows that there was nothing done, that she's not provided any email showing that she filled out an intake form for me to provide the service. Thus forth, Kenway, she shouldn't be providing services that didn't have information on the intake. Period. Yes, you didn't get the service overall, the overall perspective here. You didn't get the service, get your money back. Period. But I need things to be shown on the record of what's been on with you and my business relationship. So we want to keep you in mind and the jurist and jury in mind. Okay, so I'm just here to address the love sheet situation again. I just the thing with the love sheet situation is the prosecutor is doing an excellent job protecting her. That's his job. I want everybody to remember that that's his job to protect his clients. But we have it on the record that she did admit to it. There's no playing it. We've already stated here that she had the opportunity. Could you imagine if I would have taken the bride and said, okay, let me do it for you, blah, 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 blah. Here, let me get the money. And she had other complaints. And then she stated, look, I was just testing him to see if he would take the bride. He has no moral code. He has no moral convictions. Look, this is what he did. All I had to do was offer him more money. And could you imagine what that world would look like, me sitting up here in this case with that information? If any other jurors was in that situation, in a situation where you happily said, hey, if you got someone else to do it, please do it. I don't know about it, honestly. Can we make it public? Do you want me to simply ask the question publicly on Facebook, on the government page, putting myself at risk and my competence in regards to what I know or what I don't know to the world, to then state, hey, can we do this? That's denied. And instead she states, no, I don't want to do that. But let me slide you some more money for it. She purposely did not put that in. Y'all read the complaint. The complaint was very lengthy. I've missed some things getting done that day reading that complaint. Out of all that information she put in there and all those details, all those text messages, all those DMs, she purposely did not put in the bribery part. That's just common sense right there. Look, I respect I respect anybody, like man, woman, of nationals here that that make mistakes or what have you. But we're not talking about a mistake here. We're talking about a purposeful deceit. We're talking about deceit here. And for the question of what moral codes, because that was asked about me in regards of what moral codes was violated. I have it here because I never answered that. So this kind of goes into what was asked upon me that I didn't answer. Right here.
10 minutes till this meeting's over.
10 minutes? Okay. I have not acted deceitfully. 6 of our 42 laws within our honor constitution. I have not acted deceitfully. 6. Number 12, I have not caused anyone grief by way of injustice. Number 12, I have not falsely accused anyone. I believe I've been falsely accused of not providing services that isn't given to us in a proper manner. 19, I have not committed a transgression against my own value system. 26, I have not caused unjust grief to others. 32, I have not used unjust thoughts, words, nor deeds. Those are violations that she committed. I'm just here. This couldn't be anybody else. This couldn't be anybody else in regards of this situation, the evidence laid out on her behalf, and it's just ignored. Could you imagine this being a public case for everybody to see, and we just ignore? Oh yeah, So we were trying to say assistants can get away with this, but can you imagine any of the jurors doing the work? I'm not even going to get into the work side just yet. So Yasmine Shiali. This is where I'm going to next. Yasmine Shiali. If she's on, I can't see right now. Yasmine Shiali. What did you do when you asked? Okay,
I'm sorry.
you there?
This is actually Lakshi. My understanding that this is cross-examination. Are there any questions I'm supposed to answer?
No, you're done with that was just statements. This prosecutor made some statements. I'm making some statements here. No questions for you. I think everything's been answered in regards of you. But to Yasmine Shiali. Yasmine Shiali. I've got your stuff here. Yes. When it came down to you reaching out to, when Ali told you to reach out to me, did you reach out to me, and if so, by what means, about your nationality? She not on?
She's on. She may have stepped away.
Gotta step away real quick. Okay. Look, I understand, and while she's getting her stuff right, I'll go ahead and keep it rolling. But I do have a lineup of questions for her. But just I want jurists that's really in the field and not as much in the field to just kind of keep in mind when you're actually out here ready to do the work and make your government look well, and you don't have a lot of help, like I'm sure many of you can relate to. You're going to get people to. You're going to get small complaints, little complaints, big complaints. In this case, for when I'm looking at the list of things here, I'm not seeing any evidence in regards of something that will really stick. I see that Karen needs her payment back. I don't have no problem providing that. But in the situation with Yasmine Shiali and what's been done in regards of her not reaching out to me, like Ali did tell her to. Obviously, by her coming back to Ali, there is deception there, stating without her having to actually say it. Now, because we're talking about the same person that's the prosecutor on her behalf, I don't expect necessarily for the full context of the full information to come about. But if that's all the context is there, that's there. We can assume with common sense that when you ask somebody to go talk to somebody about their nationality when they don't, and then they come back to you and it's the energy of, hey, I still haven't heard anything. There is deception being taken place, whether or not you're saying he didn't reach out or I reached out to him or not. Hey, I'm still waiting for you didn't do what was asked. You're causing confusion, and that has to do with part of my cross-examination for her. So if she's not on, if she's not in right now,
no,
that's
I'm
okay.
here and I can speak for myself.
Okay, excellent.
When I first reached out to you, I was told that the cost for the services was $360. It wasn't
Correct.
until I reached out to start the process that you said that it was double that price, and it was still the same price on your website. So I had referred 2 or 3 other people to the tribe to get nationalized and stuff specifically by you. You're welcome. And I was giving them the same information. So when it happened to me, when the price changed, it was no problem, but I didn't expect to pay that up front. So we talked about it. You said, okay, I'll start the process. You can send me the 360 or 370 now, and then we'll work out the rest and I'll get your stuff started. You never started the process. And then I reached out to you and gave you an additional $150, and I still got nothing from you. I asked if you needed anything extra from me. If there's anything else we needed to do, nothing extra happened. So there's no deception. If I paid you for something, if I owe anybody money, if we're doing a service.
What's this? Bear with me. I asked you a question and you're not, no offense, it seemed like there's some deception going on at this moment. I asked a question.
What question did you ask?
When you were asked to come and check with me by the person who's representing you in this case right now, what means did you reach out to me? Did you listen? Did you ignore it? Or
no, I didn't reach back out to you because I had already given you money at that point. And when I pay for my money in a service, I expect for it to be rendered. I don't want to keep coming back to you after I paid for a service already. And you said you would start the process and you didn't. Why would I continue to go back and forth with you?
Okay.
I don't even know who this person is. You were saying I was persuaded to not deal with you.
That's okay. That's okay. So
as well.
I'm going to show the Jural Society this, just so everyone. And here's the thing, because moving forward with this operation, till we tighten up, we're going to have a lot more clients reaching out in regards of claims and stuff that will be very frivolous and maybe even be deceitful. That's what this process is for. I showed her 720. If you can see all 720 is highlighted. This is her Monet and her DM. $720 for nationality. And then with her, because that she said she came to me, she thought it was $360 for the process. I said, I will allow you to do, I don't usually do payment plans, but because I'm looking out for you, because I understand your situation, you can do payment plans because I understand stuff changes and it looks like I didn't keep my word with the change. So yeah, get the 720 when you can. I didn't state that I would start operating anything in that behalf. I said this is the price. This is the price. Well, I used to do that. People would send me intake forms. People would send me tests to get in the RNA. I would fill out the intake form. I would register them, log in the client information, start grading the test, but payment wouldn't come. Some not at all. Some a year or 2 years later, and I took out that time out of my day to start filling that stuff out. It's not logical anymore, especially at the capacity that I'm working in, to start doing work for people that haven't fully paid their price. But we can see here, she knows that it's $720. Yet we know that on the record that $510 was paid and not the full 720. So regardless of the 510 and the 10 extra dollars was not done, or then the 10 extra dollars plus the 200 that wasn't sent in, I'm not registering and working when the process isn't done. I've been burnt that way before.
But you said that you would, though. In the same messages that you're showing, if you scroll down, you said you were going to start the process, get my registration sent over to headquarters and everything. I sent that message later down.
Okay, absolutely. So with that being said, you didn't fill. Not only did you not fill out the intake form that I sent you, you didn't send me any. You just sent me a test. You didn't send me any other way forms of contact. I use the intake form to have a way to contact.
I'm gonna interrupt you.
Make sure you're
send that the link. Did you send out the link?
Yeah, the link's sent out, but make sure you're doing your you're doing question form.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, these are yes or no questions. Yeah, you're right.
I sent it, submitted everything. That's how Chief was able to do it. I didn't send any extra registration forms or an extra test or anything. Everything was submitted, and you told me that you got my test as well.
The directions were in the email. I can pull up the email with the directions in it if you need to, but you didn't fill out the information for me to.
Everybody get on the new link. Everybody get on the new link.
Okay, we're sending out the new link now.
Come back in, remember to do a question form.
Yes.
Yep. If you didn't get the new link, just reach out and if you're having difficulty. Okay.